When you feel all alone in this world and there's nobody to count your tears, just remember no matter where you are, Allah knows. Allah knows.
Morality is involved. He had to unite the people. Part of uniting the people is also by what? Lineage. When, for example, imagine now you are a tribe. Where are you from in Africa? Okay.
I'm African.
Where in Africa?
I don't know. Zambia.
Okay. Let's say you're Zambia, right? And there are two tribes, Uluwumba and Iliamba. Uluwumba and Iliamba tribes. And they're fighting each other, right? So what's happening is, when one of this Iliamba tribe marries from Uluwamba, the fighting stops. Because now they are family. This is what happened even to the Prophet ﷺ when he married from the tribes. They became in a peaceful relationship.
So he married Safia. He married Safia in order to. He married Safia too, in order for them to become.
What happened after he married Safia? What happened with the relationship with the Jewish people?
Huh? They started fighting. No. What are you talking?
So, may I kindly ask you to go and at least read some of the historical documents of this?
From 622 AD to his death, he started fighting from Medina.
Please listen.
No.
May I kindly ask you to specifically read historical documentation about the marriage of the Prophet ﷺ with Safiya?
Which wife was 6 years old?
And Zainabu.
She was called Aisha.
And Zainabu also. Zainabu. And Rihanna.
So read about them.
That's what I'm telling you, that Safia too was a Jew. Safia too was a Jew.
Okay. We know that.
And he married him. He killed the fiancée. Through war.
Where did you get this from? Okay. Where did you get all this from? Now tell me. Because you are not at that time, so where did you get this information from?
Yeah, if that is you also were not at that time, so how did you also get your information?
Historical sources.
Also historical.
Which ones?
No, philosophical sources.
Philosophical.
Historical.
Yes.
Which
history,
historical documents you're referring
to? History and philosophy.
Is philosophy going to tell you what the Egyptians did? Or is it going to be history?
I say history and philosophy. I got it from history.
Wait a moment.
I think both of you.
Do you know what philosophy is?
Help us learn, both of you. Because if you are telling us for the first time that Muhammad
he's had from the internet.
It's not internet.
Away from that.
It's not internet.
From where?
13 wives. And
be open. Be sincere.
I can't tell you.
Tell us openly.
I can't tell you. How can Safia?
No.
Safia.
Where did you read this?
Rihanna, Safia too, and Zainab. They are all Jewish.
With Safia,
No, Zainab, Rihanna, and Safia, they are all Jews.
Concentrate one subject.
Why did he marry? Why did Muhammad marry these three Jews?
My brother, listen.
Why did he marry them?
Excuse me.
Explain it to you.
What I'm asking you to do is this: be clear and open and sincere. I can tell you what my sources are from I'm learning about this historical details.
You have books there. You have books to bring it out.
Where are you reading your history from?
You have books to bring it out. If you bring books, I'll bring my book.
Which book were you reading? That tells you all of this, which is ahistorical.
It's not ahistorical, it's a fact.
Okay,
I cannot tell that Safia was a Jew.
Which book tells you that he raped her?
I did not say he raped her.
Okay, you said
I did not say he raped her.
Okay, what are the claims you're making then? Okay, let's start again. What claims are you making about the marriage of Safia with the Prophet? Start with your claims.
I say Safia too was a Jew.
Yeah, I agree. No problem, no dispute.
During the fight in Kiyah, they were fighting in Kiyah.
They were fighting?
Yeah. Muhammad went there Kiyah to fight. There, he killed the fiancée of Safia too.
He killed the fiancé?
Yeah, of Safia too father.
Okay.
Uyat.
Now I dispute.
He killed him and married Safia too.
Okay, now I dispute
the same thing like Zainabu. He killed all his brothers and married Zainabu.
But you agree, brother, that Muhammad was a political leader and he had more than 9 wives.
Do you know what I'm disputing?
One of them was a child of
Listen,
6 years old.
please, you're confusing and conflating the issues. When we're talking about the history of certain people and their isolated events
that they're reading, Zenebu, Yohana, Safiatu, they're all Jews.
Sources. I cannot just say, you
We
know what?
fight that
The
he killed them
Egyptians,
and
they
married their
are
wife.
trying
Even Zenebu, he was posing.
Our question was, did you agree
Zenebu
that
was
Mohammed married 13 wives?
Forget about that one for the meantime. Forget about that.
And then
About
one
that
of
one.
them was
That's why
mine. So we said, why was he taking the
actually
child?
was written
And you
by
said because he was a political leader. And that's what
No. You never asked me about why did he marry a child, and I answered politically. You again.
You said he was a political leader. That's what
He was a statesman. He was a
You know what?
statesman. He was a politician.
You know what you're
He was
trying
a
to do?
prophet. He was a leader.
Instead of asking me, instead of asking me directly,
General,
you're
you're a fighter.
assuming.
You don't have to kill.
Okay, ask
They
me
don't
the
know
question.
Saul. The Arab doesn't know Saul. It was the Jews who introduced Saul to the Arab. Yeah? The Arab doesn't know beheading.
You are now generalizing every single marriage, so with one reason.
He was forced to defend himself.
No, not defend. No, he didn't defend himself.
So,
he couldn't defend himself in Mecca. So he ran to Medina.
And they follow him to kill him and everybody.
Killed her fiancé. Right?
Not only her, the father also of the
And the
fiancé.
father, right?
Guyat, H-Y-Y-8, Guyat, yeah.
Where did you hear this from?
Why did you also get your message that Muhammad
I
was
didn't
the
make that claim. I didn't make that claim. You did.
I've got to prove it.
Which one?
Huh?
Which one?
I've been reading the Horizon. The Horizon.
What is that?
Go and read the Horizon.
What is the
It's a
horizon?
Kabbalistic book.
When was it written? When was it written?
he's trying to say
Kabbalistic.
Yeah, when was it written?
Yeah? Go and read them.
Yeah, when was it written?
about the prophet.
You go and read them. You go.
When was it written?
Huh? I don't know.
No, you are asking him unfair questions. You understand?
How's that an unfair
No,
question?
let me ask you. He brought his case. You ask him the author, you ask him the year and so on and so on. He should
know
have
what?
told you. And he can't
The
explain.
reason why he's asking
I can't.
Why make claims that you cannot
I can't defend
substantiate?
myself.
He gave you...
My brother, would you make claims that you cannot
I've
substantiate?
got a book to prove all this.
No.
Right, that's what I'm
He
asking.
told you.
I've got a book to prove.
That's why I'm asking which book. He says what?
I mean, maybe
The
that's...
book-
I know. The book...
The book he's asking
No.
is not a historical book, is it?
For the position of Hanif.
I'll record him.
Hanif, go and study
He
Hanif.
told
Have
you,
you studied
you may
Hanif?
not believe it.
Have you studied
You
Hanif?
may not believe it.
It's not about belief. It's
No,
about
you may
examining
not
facts.
believe it. According to the philosophy.
You see, I find it strange when we discuss this subject, you bring only unnecessary things. Listen, if you make a claim, the Egyptians had submarines. You have to substantiate your claim. And I ask you, where did you read that Egyptians had submarines? You said, I read in a book called... Oh, I said, okay. When was this book written? And by who? If you said this book was written yesterday, would that be an evidence? Wait a moment. If this book Raw was written yesterday, which claims that the Egyptian had submarine 2,000 years ago, would that be an evidence?
He was a Jew. Someone was a Jew.
It's amazing. It's amazing. You know, God gave us brains.
The first set
He
Every
gave
people.
brain to you and to me too.
No, gave us the brain.
So even brass.
Now he didn't
It's
just
not-
tell you not to use your brain.
It's not about brain. He gave you
But
list
that was
of
the
books.
first praise,
That
the
much
first
is
set
for our
of the
for
Muslims when they
discussion.
ran
That's
from Mecca.
enough.
And what did I say when I heard the name of the book?
No.
Wait.
For the Ethiopian king to
When he
protect
said
them,
horizon,
Muhammad and his
what did I ask him?
ran to Mecca.
When he told me the name of the book, what was my question? Okay. Right, you know why? You know why? Because that book may be written today.
Defend
I need to know a book.
Medina.
Was it a historical book written closer to the time?
To kill him and everybody.
Closer to the time. If it's written yesterday, that is not sufficient as an evidence. So if a book is,
No, people do research in about the past.
if a book is written yesterday and cites no historical backing, then that doesn't act as
Have you
evidence.
studied Hanif? Have you studied Hanif?
Written
No, have
nowadays
you studied Hanif? Why should I study it? It's a book.
all
Go and study
time. They
Hanif.
do research there.
Go and study Hanif. Then you understand a lot.
Has this book done research?
I'm not shouting. I'm not shouting.
Ask
That's not
him.
the way I talk.
Away from you.
No, run away from me.
This book, Horizon.
Have you studied Hanif?
Wait a moment.
Have you studied Hanif?
Have you studied Ulumba?
Huh? Have you studied Hanif?
Have you studied Ulumba?
Who's Olumba? The one there.
No, Ulumba.
No, he's not here.
What are we talking about Ulumba? We're talking about...
the man who came here is
Right?
Olumba.
So, forget Ulumba. Which is
What's
not
your point? You said have I studied Olumba?
The reason why I brought Ulumba is because, just like you brought Hanif in, we're not discussing Hanif. We're discussing the marriage of
study
Sophia.
Hanif before you can understand this thing. You have studied Hanif. You come up
Sorry, I
with
cannot
names
continue this discussion with people who really are not really up for the discussion.
No. Go and study Hanif. Go and study the Horizon. Go and study all these books. You come and
You
understand
studied
it.
Horizon, right?
Yeah.
Good. When you studied Horizon, which are the historical sources it quoted for its claim?
A lot.
Like, name me some.
Huh?
Name me some.
I've named two.
And put down on record.
No, I don't want.
Record me,
No.
but record his voice.
I've named
Which Horizoa, what's the name of the book?
Horizon.
Horizoa.
Yeah.
Because Horizoa is a Kabbalistic book, not a historical book.
Yeah.
Which historical documents is it citing or quoting for this event, the marriage of Sophia?
Sophia and the Prophet.
Okay.
I can't tell you.
You couldn't tell. So what does Kabbalah got to do with the marriage between the Prophet?
There you can get all the information.
Information on what? Do you know what Kabbalah is?
Safia to Zenebu, Rehana.
The Prophet's wives.
Yeah.
In the Kabbalah.
They're all Jews.
Okay. In the
They're all
Kabbalah.
Jews. Yeah.
In the Kabbalah.
You can get them there. Yeah.
You know what Kabbalah is?
Have you studied it?
Have I studied it? No, but my understanding of Kabbalah has nothing to do with Islamic history.
Sure.
Oh, by the way,
Sure.
why Horizu? In a medical textbook of embryology, you can find the Prophet marriage of Sophia.
Huh? You can get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's called Keep More.
Yeah.
It's called what? Before we are born.
Okay, you can get it. It's up to you.
But
It's up to you. You can get it.
But does it really talk about it? It's an embryology
I
textbook.
don't know.
It doesn't.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
on
It
the
doesn't.
topic.
What?
It's not on the
It's not on the
topic.
But Kabbalah, Horizoa,
Yeah.
you can get Zenebu, Safiatu, and Rehana.
Yeah, but what does it say about them?
Where did you get the information
That
from?
Rehana, Safiatu,
Okay.
was a Jew.
Okay.
Was a Jew.
Yeah, that's not disputed. So what's the problem? What's the point they're making?
There was a fight in Kiyah.
Yeah.
So they fought there.
And they killed his fiancé and
His
the father.
fiancé
And the father.
and the father Huyat
Okay.
were killed, and Muhammad picked
Okay, and the book, the subject of this book is Kabbalah.
Yeah, go
So
and
then,
study.
okay, cool. Subject of this book is Kabbalah.
Yeah.
So then, what did the book cite as it being historical?
Because there was a
What was the
war.
citation?
What-
No,
the man
no.
is gone. No, the man is gone.
because
He's gone.
he's gone.
Because he can't understand
Okay,
it. He
okay,
don't
yeah,
understand
yeah,
it.
The point I'm making is,